What is up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be the next album review for the Rolling Stones discography. So it has been some days since I had last reviewed the very tepid, awful album of Dirty Work. And now for the finale record of the 1980s output of the Stones, it is time to go into Steel Wheels. Now before I start, I don't want to do an audio background behind this album in this video because after I uploaded my Dirty Work review, I did get a copyright claim by using one of the music videos of Harlem Shuffle from that Dirty Work review. So I apologize that I'm not going to be doing it in this review. I will be doing it again for the rest of the reviews, but to not get another claim of using the music videos, I don't want to do it for this review for just the sake of it. Steel Wheels is the band's 19th album, released on the 29th of August 1989 to Rolling Stones Records in the UK, and this would mark the final last album to be released in America through the Columbia Records. Out of all of the Stones records that I do love and enjoy, I prefer Steel Wheels as very overlooked and quite underappreciated. So this album, after the release of Dirty Work, the split between Jagger and Richards happened. As with Jagger's direction as a solo artist, he released his second solo album, Primitive Cool, in 1987. Well, with Keith Richards, he decided to go solo and released his bluesy rocky album, Talk Is Cheap, in 1988. Despite the difficult estrangement between the two of them, over time, the relationship between both of them really grew back into the support and the connection with each other. So this marks a much better and changeable approach of relationships and the songwriting that would become for this album better and bigger improvement of a record than the previous records of Undercover and Dirty Work. This marks, unfortunately, the last album to have Bill Wyman with the Stones since their formation in the early 60s, because in the early 1990s he decided to quit and retire as a musician. Sad, Sad, Sad opens the song immediately with its energetic, simple hooks with brilliant guitars blasting through the song. It's a perfect opener on its high optimism, and the guitar solos soar right from the beginning to the end. Mixed emotions. I really like this track. I love the chorus on the vocal harmonies. The music's delivery is different comparing to Sad, Sad, Sad because it changes during the positive, uplifting sound. This is one of my personal favorites on the album. It is a sweet rocker with great guitar striking on the playing and the vocals that were bringing the positivity. Terrifying. This is a song where Jagger goes in various ways on his sounds on the vocals during his melody. It brings in Chuck Leavell once again, who worked with Dirty Work with the band on the organ this time, alongside with the other sounds on the trumpet. The track is not bad from its execution, but I do not care for some of the lyrics as they are pretty generic and strange. So this one is not bad, not as great as the other two preceded this one. Hold On To Your Hat, this one I absolutely love. Right from the beginning, it is the pumping, bluesy song from its punchy rhythm on the drums and the heavy chords blasting while the vocals were passionate. Tons of brilliant solos on this one all the way through the track, and it boosts the sound of the band. Very, very underrated in my opinion. Hearts for Sale, the rhythm on this song musically was slick on the clean guitars. It's pretty funky, but the mood is on a minor tone, with other musicians as well to contribute, as well like the sound of the keyboards as it's growing the sound more with its colourful lines of the chords. Nice improvisation of the harmonica too, which is a plus. I think this track is very, very good after the previous song of Hold On To Your Hat. that it is very different in terms of the music and the sound. Blinded by Love, personally the only acoustic country driven, I think it is a brilliant song. The guitars were strummed beautifully, as well as the soft vocals, as Jagger goes into lower registers on his singing, while the backing vocals and along with Keith's vocals on higher registers. This delivers so fluently with the pianos and the organs, and of course with the mandolin. It is another classic, really one of the best ones. Rock and a Hard Place. To me, a banger as it strums through its poppiness, but at the same time it works with its memorable chorus, with loud trumpets by the kick horns and the booming drums alongside the vocals, with Lisa Fischer and Sarah Dash alongside Bernard Fowler, who would work with the rest of the Stones on most of the songs on this album. This song is excellent on the crunchy solos too, and backing vocals pumps up the music's dramatic progression. Can't Be Seen, this is the song that I consider to be my least favourite. It is the song that Keith does lead vocals on. The instrumentation drives on while there's a lot more various guitar leads. The song is pretty good, but it's not one of the songs that I think is one of the best in terms of the repertoire of the Stones with Keith leading vocals for, like Happy, Before They Make Me Run, and You Got the Silver, etc. So this one is pretty much the filler. Almost Hear You Sigh. The beats on this one strangely remind me of Beast of Burden, but I like this one on the mellow, soft mood, and the other vocals were suiting the poppy, gentle tone. Keyboards playing through the track while Jagger goes through his vocals all over it in many ways. The most controversial song on the album is Continental Drift. It is a song that not many Stones fans would either like or just, accept. Very percussive, especially on its different sound than the rest of the tracks musically. It brings a big changed feeling on the way the structure was made, and then transcends into more keyboards after the second chorus with the sound of orchestrations. But I really like this one. I like the rhythmic percussive delivery on the track, so I possibly would regard this as another highlight. Break the Spell, very rootsy rock and roll edged sound. It's very passionate, again on the harmonica solo that was very good with its distortion. It is a brilliant presentation. For me, calling it another great song. The last track, Slipping Away, Keith Richards on lead vocals. I prefer this one over Can't Be Seen. Like Almost Hear You Sigh, the music is very calm and soft. It's a flowing ballad basically, with the brass sections again from the kick horns. This one is not one of the best tracks, but I would accept this at the same time as the closure, as it does fulfill its continuing touching mood from how the song goes through on its cleaner touch of instrumentation. Steel Wheels by the Rolling Stones is very, very good, and not many Stones fans would really accept this as much as I do personally. But I do not think that this is like a comeback album, as many of the fans claim it to be, because there are other Stones records that I would personally find out as stronger records that return the sound of what they are usually most beloved and popular for. But I definitely really like this album. Chris Kimsey did the production for this album as well, just like his production with Undercover back in '83. The production on here for me sounds much more natural and full than Undercover's way. I'm going to give Steel Wheels by the Rolling Stones an 8 out of 10, and let me know what you think of the album in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.